So let us start our today's class. Today we will discuss about concept of inheritance. This is the unit 3 topic, inheritance. The content of the today's topic, concept of inheritance, derived class and base class, and access modifier rules for inheritance. Another way to define a class. क्लास को एक दूसरे तरीके से डिफाइन करना is known as the inheritance. Another way to define a class is inheritance. And I think have you no idea about inheritance? Anyone?
हाँ यस इनहेरिटेंस में हम लोग क्या करते हैं, पहली क्लास से जब हम लोग चाइल्ड क्लास बनाते हैं तो पेरेंट क्लास को वो इनहेरिट कर लेगा, उसके प्रॉपर्टी को इनहेरिट कर लेता है वो। मतलब उसमें जो जो वेरिएबल और फंक्शन होंगे उसको वो इजीली इनहेरिट मतलब यूज कर सकता है चाइल्ड क्लास।
ओके, एनीवन? कोई और? ओके, so let us see what is inheritance. Basically, the capability of a class to derive properties and characteristics from another class is called inheritance. Inheritance is one of the most important features of object-oriented programming. What is inheritance? Inheritance is a capability of a class to derive properties and characteristics from another class is called inheritance. Just like us, we are deriving some properties and characteristics from our parents. That is known as what we are doing, inheritance. मतलब अगर कुछ प्रॉपर्टीज और कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स हम किसी दूसरी क्लास से लेते हैं तो उसको बोलते हैं इनहेरिटेंस। जैसे कि हम लोग अगर कुछ प्रॉपर्टीज और कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स अपने पेरेंट्स के अडॉप्ट कर लें तो दैट इज व्हाट कि हमने इनहेरिट किया है। एक क्लास कौन है? हमारे पेरेंट्स, और दूसरी क्लास कौन है? हम लोग हैं। तो जैसे कि properties of parent class, that is also known as the superclass, that is also known as the base class. Parents class, base class, superclass. So the properties of base class inherited by or accessed by subclass or the derived class. That means the mechanism which is involved in this is known as the inheritance. And it is a most important feature of object-oriented programming. Subclass, the class that inherit properties from another class is called the subclass or the derived class. Look at this, derived class and subclass. What is this? A class which is inheriting properties of another class. And what will be the another class? Another class is known as the base class or superclass. It will call superclass or the base class. So the properties of base class or superclass inherited by a class which is known as derived class or subclass. Now, superclass, the class whose property are inherited by the subclass is known as the base class or the superclass. So I think it is the clear what is the subclass, what is the derived class, what is the superclass, base class. So these are the class and they have different properties. Subclass inherit properties and from the superclass or base class. And superclass or base class, what? Those class whose property is inherited by the subclass. So look at this. See inheritance example through programming. So there are three classes. One is the polygon, another is the rectangle, and third one is the triangle. Polygon is the shape, rectangle and triangle is the actual shape. Now come to the class polygon. When we create a class polygon like this, we are defining two variables, width and length, and the types of these variable is the private, and we are declaring one method void set, which is having two parameters, integer w and integer l. So class polygon having one member function and two member data variable. Now come to the class rectangle. Class rectangle, the same. In this we are adding one more member function, integer area. Just like a polygon, we have private integer with length, void set integer wln. Same here we are looking in rectangle class, private integer width and length, public void set integer w, integer length, and this is the function we are adding additionally as compare polygon class. Now come to the third class, class rectangle. All the member functions and the data member similar as compared the rectangle class. In all three class, there is no relation between the any types of relation. We are saying no, there is no relation between all three class. Now, when the polymorphism come, when the inheritance come, then what we'll see, look at this. If inherited come, so rectangle is inheriting the properties of the polygon. So look at this. This is the polygon class which is defining the variable integer width and length, and the types of these variable is the protected, and the one member function is defined as a public void set. Once we inherit the properties of the polygon in the class rectangle, then look at this. Only we are initializing integer area function in the class rectangle, and we inherited all the data which is already defined or declared in the class polygon. So look at this. This is the inheritance. If we are inherit data from the base class, this is the symbol, the class, the name of the subclass, this is the colon, this is what public, private, protected mode of the inheritance, in what types of mode we are accessing or we are inheriting a class. So this is what, this is the mode of inheritance, in which mode we are inheriting polygon. So this is the name of the base class. So this is a simple syntax to access the concept of inheritance. Now look at this. What is the difference between the previous rectangle class without the inheritance and with inheritance? Look at this. We are not writing these things here because we are inheriting these properties through inheritance. So this is the advantage, that it reduces redundancy. So, now look at this. Another triangle is also inheriting the properties of the polygon. So look at this. This is the triangle class, and this is the triangle. Only one function in the triangle class we are declaring, that is the integer area, and other member function or data member we are inheriting directly from the polygon class. So look at this. अगर मैं यहाँ पर देखूं, जब मेरे पास इनहेरिटेंस नहीं था, तो रिडंडेंसी देखिए, इस डेटा की कितनी हो रही थी, इस डेटा की कितनी हो रही थी, और इस डेटा की कितनी, केवल एक इंटीजर एरिया यहाँ पर बढ़ रहा था, रेस्ट ऑफ डेटा सारा हमें बार बार लिखना पड़ रहा था। लेकिन इसी चीज को मैंने इनहेरिटेंस के कॉन्सेप्ट में लेकर आया तो मेरी रिडंडेंसी बढ़ गई, जो कि मेरे को यहाँ देखने में साफ साफ दिख रही है. So this is your inheritance. Simple. Look at this. There are two class, circle and 3D point. Both are inheriting from point. Point is the main class. Look at this class point. Protected integer xy, two variable we are declaring as a protected type. This is the public. One method, one member functions of the class point is declaring as a public. Look at this, how we can inherit. So this is the class, subclass name, colon, mode of the inheritance by default. If you are removing public in front of this point class, that means point by default, the mode will be inheritance is the private. So ध्यान रखिएगा, अगर आपने कुछ भी नहीं लिखा है यहाँ पर मोड में, तो ये बाय डिफॉल्ट प्राइवेट मोड कहलाता है कि आपने इनहेरिटेंस को प्राइवेट मोड में एक्सेस किया है. तो लुक एट दिस, दिस इज द व्हाट, दिस इज अ कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ इनहेरिटेंस, हाउ वी कैन डिफाइन इनहेरिटेंस. दिस इज द सिंटैक्स. किसी बेस क्लास को जब इनहेरिट कर रहे होते हैं तो इस तरीके से हम इनहेरिट करते हैं. दिस इज द स्ट्रक्चर. Sub class name, the name of the class, this is the subclass, colon, mode of inheritance. Mode of inheritance मतलब access specifier and the name of the base class. So this is our inheritance. Basically inheritance support two things. One is the augmenting the original class and the specializing the original class. मतलब specialization and generalization, these two concepts is implemented by the inheritance concept. Now just tell me about the specialization. Suppose I am asking from all of you, what are you doing? What will be your answer? Anyone?
हम लोग क्लास कर रहे हैं अभी.
नहीं, what are you doing? And I means in terms of the degree, what are you doing? You are doing B as a common BTech. You are doing BTech. This is what? This is the general answer. This is the general answer. But when we specialize this answer, sir, we are doing BTech from information technology branch. So that is what? This is the specialization. So what is your specialization? Your specialization is the information technology. Look at this. Inheritance में भी यही चीज होती है. Polygon is the general word. And but when we look the rectangle and triangle, this is the specialization. कि polygon किस type का? This is the rectangle, and this is the triangle. This is the circle. Point. What types of point we are? The point is a general word. But the circle and the 3D point is the specialization. So ये inheritance है हम कि अगर मैं top से bottom की ओर देखता हूँ, if we look from top to bottom, then we will see the specialization, generalization to specialization. And if we look from bottom to top, then we will see the specialization to generalization. So these two words, I think, should we remember what is the specialization and what is the generalization. Top to bottom is specialization, bottom to top is the generalization. Is that clear? And these two properties, specialization and generalizations, are implemented by the inheritance in easy way. Why inheritance? Now one question comes, why inheritance? What is the need of inheritance? So look at this. Inheritance is a mechanism. Sorry. Inheritance is a mechanism used to increase the chance of error. जो possibilities होती हैं हमारी, is the possibility to increase the chance of error and the data redundancy in a program to avoid this types of situation. What types of situation? Increase the chance of error and data redundancy both can be reduced by the inheritance. Yeah, this is what, and we can define specialization, augmentation, oblique generalization. So we can use inheritance to reduce the data redundancies or any types of error if we are accessing multiple class simultaneously, or we are accessing some properties from a class to class, or if we are declaring the concept of specialization or concept of generalization. So अगर मैं इस तरीके के कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट यूज करता हूं, then we will find out what we will find out कि हम इनहेरिटेंस का यूज कर रहे हैं. So this is your inheritance. Okay. Okay. Thank you to all of you for the today's class. We will continue this tomorrow. So thank you once again. Thank you to all of you.